in this video, I have a saying about giving a rat's ass that's kind of funny. That how can you give a rat's ass? The ass of the rat isn't yours to give, so let the rat keep his ass. Or you can pick up a rat and hand him to somebody else's ass first, and yes, you're giving a rat's ass. And if the other person wants to accept the rat ass first, to give a rat's ass, you're sort of offering up the rat's ass, and it's up to the other person if he wants to accept. So I'll have another saying too, that in some certain things, that if a rat's ass should really be offered or even given about a particular subject. So that's what I say about tolerance to a certain thing. You can say sometimes you give a shit. There's some and I also have a thing where I say there's certain aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck. It's not that I don't give a shit or give a fuck. It's there's some aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck that I don't give a shit or a fuck about. And at any given time, when and where should a rat's ass be given, or a fuck be given, or a shit be given, or even offered? You know what I mean? Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. And even though I already watch everybody else's videos to talk about this shit, I'm gonna try to make it not like it's typical like everybody else's. And I don't want it to make it sound to myself like the same shit I'm already hearing, otherwise what's the point in making a video? But I'm gonna say in my own words. And I do writings, long-winded writings about this too, because a lot of people, they want to tell you what you can and can't write and what you can and can't say too, and psychoanalyze it or whatever the hell too. And a lot of them do it without actually telling you what you're saying. They're not appearing to be offended by anything you're saying, or not saying anything you're saying is wrong, but they'll belittle you for making the long-winded statement and say all kind of shit. But I'm not going to go on and on about that. But I'm going to talk about, people and the gender shit, you know what I mean? Whether people want to call it a hate video or not. And I actually, another motto too. The people that accuse everybody most of hate speech, and the people that do the most claiming to wanting to stop hate, and they are the biggest purveyors of hate. So pot calling the kettle black, double standards. It's only hate speech. They only keep calling it hate speech when you're doing it, but this isn't so much about hate. This one is more about the difference between respecting somebody's personal choice and being a type of person that, okay, if that's what they want to be or do, don't do anything that's against the law, don't do anything violent, don't threaten them, don't beat up, don't shoot them because of who they want to be. And a lot of us are willing to do that, even though we don't like their personal choice. Some of us say it's their personal. That's what I call a personal choice, in obeying the law and not doing anything stupid to get yourself put in. Let me say that again. Not get yourself put in jail because you want to do something against somebody because you don't like your personal choice. I'm telling you the difference between that. But the difference between somebody's personal choice and knowing that, like I says, a person like myself believes in obeying the law. I don't care. I don't give a shit what they want to do. If somebody wants to be another gender, I ain't going to do anything that's against the law. The difference between their personal choice, which I believe in obeying the law, don't do anything, and the difference between their choice and the difference between it being it's a mental sickness or a narcissistic personality disorder. I'm being a little repetitive here, but it's like it makes your head explode talking about it, wanting to wonder, and hey, if that's their choice, and the fact that there's people out there that are willing to get themselves thrown in jail doing anything against somebody and because of that choice. But when does their choice, okay, become a mental sickness? And they're not both the same thing. When they become their choice will be considered or can be considered a mental disorder or a mental sickness or a narcissistic personality disorder only, okay, stupid buses and things going by making noise. It doesn't become that automatically, not with me anyway, or a lot of other people. Speaking for myself, it doesn't automatically become a mental sickness or a personality disorder just because of their choices. I can give a shit less. But it will turn, speaking for myself and other people, it will become a mental sickness and be regarded as me or other people as a mental sickness when it goes from being their choice. When it goes from being somebody's choice, okay, that's what I want to be, leave me alone, don't do anything unlawful, don't beat me up, don't shoot me, you know. When it goes from that to you have to coddle me or else, and you have to give me attention or not, you gotta worship me, like, and then you gotta go to the government and get people to get you to go in the girl's bathroom just because you decided that you're a dude and you want to be a chick. And all of us, when it turns into not being satisfied with people that are willing to obey the law and not beat up or hurt or shoot or threaten to common sense thing, what I regard as common sense, when that becomes not good enough, then when they're like, oh, you don't, when you're required to when everybody else is required to take a piece of their personal life, stop their personal life for some period of time to coddle you, and required to join them in deciding when you want to make laws to force their values down somebody else's throat, and then force somebody, the government, to make laws for public schools to go and teach everybody's kids to accept that, and maybe require, maybe trying to push or groom them into being the same way, just so you can validate yourself. That makes it a narcissistic personality disorder when evidently the person that wants to be the other gender, they're not very secure about themselves, about that being what they want to be. If they're not secure on them about themselves, about their decision, without having and feeling the need to validate themselves by getting people to make laws to get the public school to re-educate and maybe try to groom and breed more of them people in society as kids, just so they can feel more validated and feel more secure. And then when rules and requirements are being made and forced down people's throat, that they gotta take a piece of their personal life to coddle them. Live and let live is not good enough. When live and let live isn't good enough, and somebody seems to be, when the person that wants to be the other gender, live and let live ain't good enough, and they become angry because somebody's sitting by their TV and living their life and minding their own business, and not being willing to coddle them, and they're noticeably angry about it, and they want to make more laws to get everybody to give them the attention, then that becomes a mental sickness and a narcissistic personality disorder. When all the rest of us are willing to live and let live, and then if you're some guy that ain't happy with your gender and you want to be a girl in some school or college and then want to go into the girl's bathroom, people do have the right to question, say even if somebody, to be fair, to say not all of them are like that, right? Excuse me, there's a lot of people that are like that, and there should be a reason for concern, because, you know, there's a lot of, okay, biologically born, and dude and chick get married, right? They get divorced, he's too abusive, right? She puts a PFA out on him, and right? And he decided in his demented mind, he doesn't really have no desire to be a transgender. He goes, oh, wait a minute, I can go and identify that so that I can you can murder their wife, you know what I mean? Like a clip I seen in one of the Charles Bronson movies, you know, the one mafia boss, even though it's just a movie. Charles Bronson, that became a big franchise, Death Wish, you know, the one episode. Geez, it was, I think, very next to the last episode. You know, the mob was taking over the Charles Bronson's then wife's fashion industry. Then one of the other mob guys actually dressed as a woman. Well, they were in a restaurant. Charles Bronson sitting in a restaurant. And and she goes to the bathroom, and the one mob guy comes in there dressed as a woman, goes right by Charles Bronson, running to his nose, locks the door behind him, and proceeds to smash her face in the mirror and shit like that. You'd have to be a watcher of Charles Bronson movies, seeing all the death wishes, is not living under a rock, you know, knowing. And you don't think that shit could really happen? Well, of course they had that one shooter, you know, what was in the last year. He thought he was going to get away with what he was doing by dressing as a girl, you know. And you ever see that movie, what's his name played in it, called The Jackal? Well, the guy was changing his face all the time, but you don't think you can have a version of that movie, The Jackal, where they can not only disguise different ways, they can change their gender literally at will. You don't think you got actual criminals around doing that shit, you know what I mean, you know? That does open the doors. I'm not saying everybody that wants to change their gender is like that, but there's a part of the rule of law and the part of, you know, the FBI and the police that has the right to just kind of look into that sort of thing, because, yeah, it does open a door for cover for criminal activity, everything from robbery to murder and different things like that. People try to get away with their shit any way they can. But then, you know, but anyway, aside from that, every day a person wants to change their gender so they can and go into a girl's bathroom. I think it's actually kind of damn creepy. And I think it's kind of damn creepy, you don't want to go in a school and then make laws to re-educate people's kids and say certain things okay. I mean, and teach and go in the public school and teach kids anything beyond common sense, which common sense being don't beat them up, don't threaten, don't hurt, which that's all that's needed in a public school. Yeah, you get somebody that wants to dress as the opposite gender in a public school, don't beat them up, don't threaten them. Oh, what do you need to re-educate them with that other crap though for? And what the hell were they getting? With that couple, both black and white people were doing. The black couple, he's like an athlete, and then the wife says, all of a sudden, the small kid, too small to make such decisions. Oh, said he wants to be a girl, very small kid. Yeah, you know, yeah, get sports stars and people to insinuate and put that in people's head. Yeah, why broadcast that on TV? Oh, if they want to broadcast that on TV and they're okay with their kid doing that, how the hell you know they ain't coaching them or whatever? And then you had, what's his name, Buttigieg. He's like, what, Secretary of Transportation or something? Shit, he's on the news lately because of the airline fiasco going on. Back in 2020, also the same time what I just told you was going on about the sports star. They get a guy, put it on TV like it's the greatest, small boy. Oh, I want to be brave, just like you, and come out that you're gay or whatever, and teach the kid that that's brave. Why the hell would they put that on TV? That kid's probably coached too. Put that on TV to a type of virtue signal or an innuendo to tell you how to think about it, just because some prominent, so-called prominent people are on there saying it. Oh, then that means I have to go along with it and call them. No, no, it does not. The only thing it requires me or anybody else out there the only thing anybody else is required to do is not do anything that's against the law. Common sense, not against the law. That's it. And if anybody starts getting mad or they're looking at who's not coddling them, they're just living their own life and minding their own business. And then there's a case too. A lot of people are envying the other gender, and the people that are dumb enough to coddle them. Yeah, the women the female trust fund dipshits. It's that are coddling the dudes that decide they want to be a girl. I can argue that the only reason that person that wants to be the girl is okay with it, he's Revelant, is because he's gonna revel in that as long as they think that the person that defends him is worshiping him. For example, the biological girl, trust fund dipshit, that girl that is being an activist and a feminist and coddling the pseudo chick. As long as the pseudo chick doesn't get wise to her thinking that he's his equal anyway. As a matter of fact, they got a narcissistic personality disorder. They think they're it. They be getting all really pissed off. And you see how damn Bruce or Caitlyn Jenner, I saw talking to Ben Shapiro, threatened to say, you better shut up or you're going in an ambulance. There you go, a dude dresses up like a chick. You see how violent and threatening they get. Some Mr. or Miss Gender said, oh yeah, you better shut up or you're going in an ambulance. That shows how violent and pissed off that they get when you question it. Yeah, it's a mental disorder the minute they get mad and they start wanting to threaten to beat somebody up because you're not in with it. Oh, but they're a victim, right? It's okay for them to act violent because they're a victim, but they want the cake on. They want the bread buttered on both sides, or the toast buttered on both sides. They want to be a victim and be coddled, but yet they want the permission to be violent themselves and hateful themselves if anybody asks a simple question. Like, ask a simple question why they want to go out there and make laws and force it down everybody else's throat. You know what I mean? They'll call somebody else all hateful. Yeah, that's what the narcissist does. The narcissist with a personality disorder does. They'll be a victim, call everybody else a hater that they're hating, even if that's a simple question. But they give themselves the permission to hate, and they also want permission to hate from the people who coddle them to hate. So that's the hater actually. Somebody gets the privilege to hate, you know. I mean, you question their delusion, you know. They would be all wanting to go into a girl's bathroom, and they envy that girl athlete. Maybe they fail as a male against another male and against an athletic thing, so they decided to go and be a girl. And quite frankly, that one, I'm not going to go on about that one. That controversy should have been shot down right then and there. With that guy that was a swimmer, he failed as a male swimmer. Everybody was male beat him. He was a failure. He was a loser, right? So he decided to be a girl. That would have been ended right then and there if some of them girls got their boyfriends that may have been football players that can swim and challenged them to a thing. And what if a bunch of these girls' boyfriends decided, okay, I'm a transgender too, and I challenge you to a swimming match? Bam, that would have been over. There'd be no controversy, nothing all over the news. That'd been over, plain and simple now, wouldn't it? They didn't want to do that because it would be too juicy of a news, like on Good Morning America and all your other internet channels and The View and all that damn crap or whatever too. But anyway, yeah, these people the women that are the trust fund chicks, that coddle them. Oh, they're fine with that as long as the person they're coddling decides. As long as the person that's coddling them doesn't get caught appearing to be their equal, or anything like that. Make no mistake about it, they don't want equality. Anybody who when it becomes a narcissistic personality disorder, they don't really mean they want equality. They'll dress up as a girl or whatever the heck. Oh, they don't want equality. They want to be up here, and then you, me, or the dumbass female trust fund dipshit chick to be down here. And the dumb trust fund dipshit chick or any other activist, I don't know if they know damn well in their own heart, or they don't care, or what they're thinking. But they're damn fool. I mean, I'm thinking most of the people that coddle these people, they don't realize that they got them wrapped around their damn finger. Anybody that's an activist, you try to say you try to tell one of them maybe that, don't you think sometimes that maybe the person you're coddling them, they got you wrapped around their finger? They don't really see you as their equal at all. You're basically being used just to coddle them in so many words, if you think that they're your equal in any kind of way. They don't, because they actually think they're it, It's all, you can argue that these people want to like steal your identity. Like if you're an actual biological chick, they want to steal your identity. That's what they're basically doing. They're committing fraud. They're committing identity fraud against other people and themselves, kidding themselves. You know what I mean? But like I said, all that applies only if it gets from, okay, I'm being what I want, leave me alone. It becomes like a big personality disorder and like a case for narcissism the minute it goes beyond, let me be what I want, leave me alone. If it goes beyond that, and then there's starting to get a big fat book of manifesto rules and laws that they want to get the government to make, then it's a mental sickness. If they start showing psychological and political aggression on TV, getting verbally aggressive and angry and very bent on making laws, when they start making laws targeting the people who are living their own lives and minding their own business, you know what I'm saying? That makes it a narcissistic mental disorder. They're controlling. Like the narcissist wants to literally imitate sometimes the person that they want to. Literally, they want to steal their identity and replace them. They emulate certain women or whatever have you. They literally they want to steal that person's identity for themselves. Really, it's looks like some kind of Silence of the Lambs shit. Really. But yeah, when it turns into control, pretty much.